What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Dummy Remy. I'm coming at you with another video. And when it comes to Doctor Who, Joy to the World 100% broke records when it comes to viewership data. I mean, we honestly have to give it a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, because this viewership data is just a miracle across the board, because the record it broke is just astonishing, because it was the lowest rated Doctor Who Christmas special ever. Now, you might be sitting here thinking, no, that's impossible. That's highly unlikely. But if you actually remember, around this time last year, I told you that the previous holder of the spot was actually the Doctor Who Christmas special from last year in 2023, boasting numbers of 4.73. So, when it comes to Church on Ruby Road holding the spot of the worst rated overnights for Doctor Who Christmas ever, it's really shocking to see that Joy to the World blew it out of the park, coming in at only 4.11 million overnight viewers. And here's the thing, when it comes to Christmas specials in Doctor Who, or specials in general in Doctor Who, you usually see mass appeal, massive amounts of audience coming in here. They're usually higher viewership than most other episodes. And honestly, you can tell that when we compare it to the rest of the episodes from this season. Every other episode this season only saw 2.6, maybe a 2.8 here. Nope. Yeah, 2.62 million was the largest overnight during the full season. But when it comes to specials, they always get larger audiences coming in because, hey, it's a special. It's the Christmas special. But it's the lowest rated Christmas special in history, beating out Church of Ruby Road. And in fact, I've gone over these numbers before. I've gone over this data before in a previous video that I will link down below. These numbers here beat out an episode all the way back in the 70s, where there was fewer people in the world and fewer TVs. They still had better overnight viewership for this episode. Now, I already know what people are going to be saying here. I already know what people are going to be coming at me, trying to indicate that, oh, obviously nobody's watching on BBC. Obviously Bard's incomplete, because they're going to come in with the consolidated viewerships. Or maybe they're going to say, hey, it's going to come in with the Disney Plus numbers, or maybe BBC iPlayer. Yeah, that's not going to happen, because I've already gone over some of these numbers, and they don't have Samba TV's data out for this week just yet to get us a decent viewership. We won't have that for maybe the next week or so. But when it comes to Samba TV, in previous videos, I have shown you Doctor Who data never shows up. And that's telling you something, because the Acolyte viewership data always showed up, and the Acolyte was the worst viewed show on Disney Plus to date. So if we take into the account that the Acolyte, which was canceled for one being so expensive and two being watched by literally nobody, was showing up on Samba TV data, but Doctor Who wasn't, that tells you that nobody's watching Doctor Who. It's beaten out by an episode from the 70s with fewer people in the world and fewer TVs. Man, that really tells you something. But here's the thing. We can actually go over to what did get viewership this year. What did convince people to tune in and actually watch over this last Christmas? And you scroll right on in here. BBC Wins Christmas takes every spot in UK's top 10 most watched shows on Christmas Day, with number one being Gavin and Stacey, The Final Drew, the largest overall audience, drawing 64.75% of potential audiences and an average audience of 12.3 million overnights. Or what took second spot, an actual family-friendly show, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, winning a 53% share and an average audience of 9.38 million. So you're sitting here telling me that Wallace and Gromit, which is a family-friendly show, had 9.38 million overnight viewership, and Doctor Who, which history is long since gone, used to see numbers of 5, maybe 8, 8.27 million, 8.28. Now, some of these are consolidated viewerships, but if we scroll on down here to the Christmas Invasion, for example, and we end up seeing that it had a overnight viewership of 7 to 9 million viewers. That's telling you how far Doctor Who has fallen since then. And when we actually come back over here to this particular article, we can scroll down and see number 3 was obviously going to be The King, coming in with 44% with 5 million tuning in. The highest placed TV soap of the day was the early evening edition of EastEnders with an audience share of 37.3% and audience of 4.4 million. All these shows are beating it out on Christmas Day. But we scroll down here, and I love this paragraph because it's written so beautifully and really tells you how people see Doctor Who now. Other BBC shows to feature in the top 10s included Call the Midwife, 4.4 million, Doctor Who with 4.1 million, Strictly Come Dancing Christmas Special, 4 million, the later evening episode of EastEnders, 3.9 million, Children's Animation Toddler, 3.23 million, and the afternoon, The Weakest Link Christmas Special with 3 million. You see what they did there? There was a time when Doctor Who would probably be second, maybe even fourth, maybe third. And they would get a whole paragraph. They would talk about it. They would mention how much of the percentage it got. Yeah, now it's only saying, well, these are some of the other ones that showed up in the top 10. Here it is, Doctor Who, 4.1 million overnight. It really lets you know. Okay? It really tells you just how abysmal this data is and just what people truly think about the current state of Doctor Who, and it really does tell you exactly what you need to know about things like this. Disney still not committal on a third Gatwa season, but happy to have Doctor Who. Or maybe when Russell T Davies recently came out and said that not even BBC or Disney are committed to a third season of Doctor Who, and that he's even admitted that the viewership data is some of the worst data in all of Doctor Who history. Really gets you thinking, how much longer until the announcement comes that Doctor Who will be canceled and will not go beyond the third season? We got one more Christmas special left. That's right, we got one for 2025 coming up. Is that going to be our final Doctor Who episode ever? Time will only tell. But until next time, guys, thank you for watching, and let me get you guys' thoughts on all this down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with friends, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video. Love, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.